Okay, here's a question for you.
Hmm.
What do things like, say, a hammer, a screwdriver, maybe a spanner, have in common with artificial intelligence? Sounds a bit like a riddle, doesn't it?
It does. But the answer, according to one writer we're looking at today, is actually pretty straightforward. AI, or at least some AI, offers simple, practical tools for everyday stuff. It doesn't have to be this massive, complicated thing to be really useful.
Exactly. And that's really the core idea we're diving into today.
Hmm.
We're digging into the thoughts of Trevor Nel. He's a 70-year-old generalist,
Yeah.
not a tech guru, which I think is important here.
Right. And he uses this great analogy, his trusty little red 1950s toolbox for fixing things around the house.
Love that image.
Yeah, his point is just like a few good tools in that box can handle, what, maybe 80% of your home repairs? The same idea works for AI. It's about finding that simple effectiveness.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. We want to unpack Nell's whole vision for this kind of AI toolbox, but specifically for, the everyday person. We want to show you how just a handful of these simpler but still powerful AI tools can actually empower anyone who's curious, even if you feel like a total non-techie.
Right. It's about tackling those day-to-day challenges, maybe finding some surprising new possibilities, and just feeling a bit more comfortable stepping into this AI era without feeling totally swamped.
Yeah, demystifying it, making it actually useful.
Exactly.
So Nell's take on AI tools is honestly quite refreshing. You really does see them like his old red toolbox. They're not slashy,
Hmm.
not packed with every gadget imaginable.
No, they're reliable, focused, practical.
And when he was exploring this with Microsoft's Copilot, the AI actually came back with this almost poetic description of the toolbox. It said something like, there's a quiet resilience in the worn paint, a story in every scratch, a philosophy in how those humble tools are arranged.
That's lovely, actually.
It really is, and it just reinforces his point. A few well-chosen, well-loved tools can solve most of life's practical challenges. It's about that lasting utility.
And what's really great there is how that simple idea pushes back against the feeling that AI has to be this, labyrinth of code or jargon, as he puts it.
Right.
Nell seems convinced that most problems, most challenges, really only need maybe half a dozen things to solve them. Just a few simple actions, he says, can create a real ripple of positive change.
It's not about becoming a coder overnight.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's about using tools that are already out there, easily accessible, like learning a few basic knots that can solve a surprising number of everyday tangles.
Right.
Same idea.
And the way Nell came up with this whole AI toolbox idea makes it so relatable. He literally says it hit him while knocking nails into a new replacement barge board on the side of our house.
You can't get much more down to earth than that.
Exactly. It yanks AI out of the server room and puts it squarely into everyday life, fixing the house, figuring out AI.
And to explore this idea, he needed someone or something to bounce ideas off, his choice. Microsoft's Copilot? And his reason for choosing an AI is quite telling and kind of funny. Nell notes he's found a clear preference for conversing with an unemotional AI as opposed to opening myself up to the unexpected hostility of an emotional human being.
Huh. I think many people might quietly sympathize with that sometimes.
Right. It's a witty take on a very modern situation. Sometimes you just want that impartial feedback, that consistent tone without the emotional roller coaster that human interaction can sometimes be.
It highlights AI not just as a gadget, but as this potential neutral conversation partner.
Definitely.
So Nell's intrigued by Copilot, this unemotional but helpful partner. He gives it a task.
Mm-hmm.
Help him build a simple AI toolbox for the average person. And he even suggests Copilot itself as the first tool.
Naturally. And perhaps predictably, Copilot's first suggestions were, well, very Microsoft-centric.
A bit of brand loyalty there, even from the AI.
Seems like it. But this is where Nell pulls off a really brilliant move. He challenges Copilot again. Okay, build me a 6-piece AI toolbox, but without including yourself or any other Microsoft tools.
Ah, that's clever. Pushing its boundaries.
Exactly. And Copilot, to its credit, steps up when prompted and curates a non-Microsoft list. This whole exchange really highlights a key decision for you, the listener. Do you go for an integrated system, like Microsoft's, where everything works together smoothly?
Right, like if you're already using their other software.
Or do you prefer to pick and choose the best tool for each specific job from different creators? Your own digital habits might lean you one way or the other.
That's a really practical point. Okay, so for someone wanting that diverse non-Microsoft set, what did Copilot suggest? What were the 6 tools?
Yeah, it gave a pretty thoughtful list, and crucially, it included the tool type and these neat little analogies to make them understandable.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right, first up, ChatGPT from OpenAI. Copilot called it a thinking partner.
Thinking partner.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, like your friendly neighborhood librarian, tutor, and brainstorm buddy. Sort of the go-to versatile starting point for a lot of people.
Makes sense. What's next?
Second, Midjourney. This one's an imagination canvas.
Ooh, I like that.
The analogy was like describing a dream and getting the painting back instantly. So for turning text into images, fast.
Wow, okay. So if you need a quick visual or just want to spark some creativity, that sounds incredibly direct. Opens things up.
Totally. Then number 3, Otter.ai. This is your auto transcriber and meeting scribe.
Ah, practical.
Very. Acts like a superpowered PA that takes notes, summarizes meetings. Huge help if you need to capture what's said accurately.
I can see the appeal of that one immediately. Fourth,
Fourth was Perplexity.ai, described as a smarter search engine.
smarter than Google. How so?
Well, the analogy was Google that speaks in full sentences and cites its sources, so it aims to give you more context, more of a synthesized answer, not just a list of links.
Interesting. Okay, number 5.
Number 5, Notion AI. This is a thinking workspace.
Notion's popular already, right?
Yeah.
How does AI fit in? Well,
Yeah, the analogy is like your existing sticky notes, calendar, and your brain in one place, now turbocharged with AI. So it helps organize thoughts, manage projects, create content, all within that Notion environment.
gotcha. And the last one, number 6.
Number 6 was actually a choice. Suno or Udio. These are AI music generators. Copilot called them a soundtrack generator.
Music generators. Real?
Really, that's the idea. You hum a mood, it writes a song. Imagine creating a custom track for something, a video, or just for fun without needing any musical background.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Okay, those analogies definitely help make sense of what each tool does.
They really do. And after laying out this non-Microsoft list, Copilot apparently added its own little comparison.
Oh, what did it say?
It basically said, look, the non-Microsoft toolbox gives you robustness, diversity, strong tools for specific jobs, but the Microsoft-focused one offers better integration, simplicity, and cross-functionality if you're already in that world.
So it laid out the trade-offs clearly. That's actually very useful framing for someone trying to decide.
Yeah. Exactly. It makes the choice strategic based on your needs and existing setup.
This whole interaction must have really impressed Nel, seeing Copilot handle these nuanced requests.
It seems so. And it led him to another point. He basically said to Copilot, okay, if you're going to be the #1 tool in my little red toolbox, you need to show me how you're useful and even fun for the average person.
Ah, putting on the spot.
Totally. He asked it to list fun, engaging, and layperson-friendly AI activities. Kind of like, show me your fun side, don't just be about work.
So how did Copilot respond to that challenge?
Oh, it delivered. It really drove home that AI isn't just for serious stuff or coding. It can be playful, accessible. It gave 10 examples, but maybe just a couple give you the flavor.
Yeah, give us the highlights.
Okay, so one was, tell it your wildest idea and get a short story, business plan, or product name brainstormed in seconds. Imagine just, boom, getting past writer's block or idea paralysis like that.
That's powerful. Quick prototyping for ideas.
Right. Another fun one, ask it to write a song, serious or silly. Lyrics included, rhyme scheme optional. Just a great way to play with creativity without needing the technical skills.
I can see people having a lot of fun with that one.
And this one's super practical. Turn bullet points into a polished email, love letter, or motivational speech. It just smooths out the communication process, letting you focus on the message itself.
So these examples really paint AI as more of a creative collaborator, don't they? Not just a machine churning out answers.
Exactly. That flexibility, that low barrier to just try things out, that's crucial for getting everyday people comfortable with these tools, whether it's Copilot or others. And Copilot's own wrap-up on this point really nails its appeal for the non-techie. Copilot isn't just useful, it's playful, thoughtful, and ready to meet people exactly where they are, no tech background required.
That's a great line. It emphasizes that approachability, encouraging people to just engage with it.
Yeah, making the whole AI era feel less like something happening to you and more like something you can actively participate in.
Okay, so after all this back and forth, all this exploration, Nel started to refine his own personal toolbox. He didn't just take Copilot's list, he developed his own short list.
That's right. He landed on what he calls his own developing AI toolbox, a kind of microjourney using 3 specific tools: Copilot, NotebookLM, and Lovable.
Copilot, NotebookLM, and Lovable. Okay. his personal trio.
Yes, and what's really insightful is how Copilot, when asked, assessed this specific trio. It didn't just describe them individually, it framed them as a sequence, a beautiful curve of empowerment for non-techies.
A curve of empowerment. I like that. What's the curve?
Well, it starts with Copilot, the everyday genius assistant. Copilot sees this as the perfect first tool. Why? Because it's immediately useful. It's the obvious gateway into AI.
Like the hammer, the physical toolbox, foundational.
Precisely. Copilot lowers that initial barrier. As it said, no setup, no jargon, just conversation. The thinking is, if you can ask a question, you can use Copilot. It's for quick ideas, fast answers, making that first step feel easy.
Okay, so start with easy conversation. What's the next step on the curve?
Next up is NotebookLM, the deep thinker's companion. This is positioned as a great follow-up. Copilot is quick, agile. NotebookLM, on the other hand, invites slow thinking synthesis, reflection, connection making.
Slow thinking. How does that work?
It lets you work across your own notes, maybe documents you upload. It helps you find connections, make meaning from your own material. It's like having a personal research librarian focused just on your stuff.
Ah, so it's about going deeper with your own thoughts and information.
Exactly. The concept here is think. If you can take notes, you can think in layers. It helps you move beyond just getting quick answers to actually understanding and organizing your own knowledge.
Okay, so Copilot for quick interaction, NotebookLM for deeper synthesis. That pairing makes sense. But you mentioned a third tool, Lovable. Where does that fit?
Right. Lovable, the builder's jumpstart bench. This is the action step. Copilot assessed that adding Lovable brings productive confidence.
Productive confidence.
Yeah, it's like saying, okay, you've played with ideas with Copilot, you've synthesized them with NotebookLM, now go build something.
Build something. Even without coding.
That's the idea. Lovable helps you go from prompt to prototype, turning your insights into something tangible, even if you don't know how to code. It bridges that gap between idea and execution.
So the thought is, if you can imagine it, you can start building it.
Exactly. It tackles that common frustration. I have this idea, but I don't know how to make it. Lovable aims to make that initial building step accessible.
Wow, that sequence, Copilot, NotebookLM, Lovable, really does feel like a journey.
It does. And Copilot's final summary of this trio was spot on. It's not just tools, it's a micro journey from thinking to insight to action.
Thinking, insight, action. Explore with Copilot, understand with NotebookLM, shape with Lovable.
You got it. It presents this really cohesive path for personal growth using AI, showing how the tools can kind of grow with you as you get more comfortable.
It definitely reframes AI, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Less like some scary, complex tech beast.
And more like a set of accessible tools you can pick up progressively. Tools for learning, creating, solving problems. It makes the whole AI era feel much less intimidating, much more inviting.
So boiling it all down, the big takeaway from Trevor Nel's exploration is really his final recommendation, isn't it? He says, straight up, develop an AI toolbox for yourself.
Yeah, he calls it a fascinating exercise, and he promises it'll teach you plenty about working with AI tools. It's basically an invitation to, get your hands dirty, learn by actually doing.
Find your hammer, your screwdriver in the AI world.
Exactly. So we'd encourage you, listening now, to think about your own day. What are the little challenges, the tasks that take up too much time, the ideas you keep parking? What simple AI tool could be your personal starting point, your hammer or spanner to fix a problem or maybe create something totally new? Think about those little frustrations or sparks of ideas.
Yeah, take one small practical step.
Right? So maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. If just a few simple, well-chosen AI tools can empower someone like Trevor Nel, a self-described non-techie, to explore, understand, even start building.
Then what surprising, everyday problem could you tackle this week just by trying out one new AI tool?
Think about that. That one small step could be your personal entry point into using AI in a way that actually helps you. We're talking practical impact with tools that are getting easier to use all the time.
Like picking up a hammer for the first time. What will you build or create, or maybe just simplify first?